back. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my updated tips on bleaching knots and how to bleach your knots on your wig. I still get a lot of questions on this specific topic, so I want to give you guys the best tips on how to keep brassiness away, yellowness away, how to get the right color to match your complexion, because all of this is very important when bleaching your knots. So the wig that I will be sharing it on today, Superbwigs or Superbwigs, however you want to say it. I always say that, but this wig is absolutely gorgeous. This is the same wig you guys see me sharing on Sunday. Do not forget that this is Black Friday week. This is when you're going to get the best deals when it comes to your wigs. If you feel like, oh my God, wigs are so expensive, I can't afford them, you don't want to miss out on these deals. So I'm going to drop all the discount codes for Black Friday below in the description box for you guys. So make sure to check that description box below. You don't want to miss out on the savings, because this is the time to kind of refresh your wig collection. And this wig right here, as you guys seen Sunday, is the perfect style for on the go. It's not glued down, as you guys can see. I'll show you guys that. So this wig is definitely it. I will link it below in the description box. This is a straight texture. This week you will see me style it again later this week, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So make sure you guys, your notifications are turned on. Let's jump right into that tutorial, and I'm gonna show you guys how I bleach the knots on all of my wigs using this wig here. All right, so let's jump right in. So again, the Black Friday deals for this company will be linked below. You guys don't miss out on the sales. So I'm taking you backwards a little bit this week. So we've already seen this wig installed. This is what I did prior to installing this wig. So straight out the box, so this is what your knots on your wig look like. Now this is them with the white paper in the wig. This is what they look like up against skin. So I want you guys to understand one thing. Just because your wig look like this off your head does not mean there's any flaws with it, okay? The knots are visible. They're going to be visible, but as you can see, there's a slight tint to them, which means the company lightly bleached the knots, but not to the point like we would do it, where we would take these knots and turn them invisible. And when I say invisible, I mean basically over bleaching, if that makes sense. So to put an understanding to your wig and knots, when you first get your wig, you will notice a light tint. A lot of companies are going to say they pre-bleach the knots, because they do. However, they're not going to over bleach them, because a lot of times a lot of girls that buy these wigs are of a darker skin, so they do not like to take these knots to blonde. So if you are my complexion, you may notice that when you put on a wig, it looks brown at the scalp area, and that's really not a problem. It can be fixed with just re-bleaching your knots. So that's why a lot of times I go back and I re-bleach my knots so that it can be more suitable for my complexion. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how I do today. I'm not only going to show you for dark skin, but I'm going to show you for light skin on how to get those results. So again, this wig is a straight hair wig, and we're going to jump right into it, because I'm also going to show you how to tone out the brassiness and the yellowness. So the first step that I like to do is make sure to protect the hair around the knots. This is usually around the hairline. So I take this oil-free wig shine spray that is basically supposed to be for the hair. However, I don't like it for the hair, but I do find that it works really good. And as you can see, it's an oil base. It works really good at protecting the hair from having spill outs. Anytime I don't use this product, you guys, I promise you I get more spill out with the bleach onto the hair. So I'm just spraying it around that hairline and also down the parting. If you want to be more detailed, you can part sections of the hair, spray as you go. But I don't do all that. I just kind of take my brush and brush it through, because the most important parts are the hairline to me when it comes to over bleaching. Now, I believe the bleach and the developer that you use are going to make the difference, but not too much of a difference. I do find that the higher end ones do work a little bit better. So if you are going with the cheaper ones all the time and you're getting the same results that you don't like, you may want to up the price a little bit and get into the higher brands. So when it comes to mixture, I like my mixture to be thick, because if it's too loose, it's going to run into the hair, and we don't want that. We want the bleach to only focus on the knots. So I like my consistency to be measured out where it's a little bit more bleach than developer, but it's not clumpy, it's not powdery, it's just right enough for you pick it up, and it is a little bit difficult to kind of get it off the spoon. It don't drip. It's almost like frosting, if that makes sense. So once you have your bleach mix, it's time to apply it to the inside of the cap. Never apply it to the opposite side, only the inside of the cap. And you want to make sure you're lightly pressing so that it can cover the knots on the other side, which you guys will see in a second. So when it comes to the color of the knots, if you are dark skinned, you want your knots to go brown. That means you only need to let it sit for like 15 minutes at the most. If you are my complexion, you will need to take these knots lighter. So I let mine sit to up to 30 minutes to get to the blonde color. And that normally matches my complexion a lot. So once I let it sit for that amount of time, I do make sure to get all the bleach off of the inside of the cap, because you don't want any of that bleach to touch your natural hair, your scalp. It burns, okay, if it do. So make sure you're rinsing your cap very well. And as you can see, now the knots are fully bleached and not slightly bleached. This is what I mean when I say they are fully bleached. So because I do take my knots to blonde, they will be a bit yellowish, and that can not look good at the parting. And if you take your knots to brown, they could be a bit orangey. So the next thing we're going to do is fix this. Now, this product right here, this particular product will correct the brassiness and the yellowness. I promise you guys, I went through the Shimmer Light shampoo and the Shimmer Lights this and other products, and I got a little results, but never like this product. So this particular product matters when it comes to getting that brassy tone and that yellow tone out of the knots. So I apply this to the inside of the cap, and as you can see, it's this bright neon purplish color, and you want to let this sit. But if you let it sit and your knots are blonde, it kind of will take it back to brown a little bit. So don't let it sit too long if you want your knots to be a little bit pale yellow without the yellow that is disturbed. So about 5 minutes or so, maybe less, just depending. But after, this is what the results are like. I'm able to part my wig and it looks like scalp. So this is the goal, you guys. And remember, you have to bleach the knots to your complexion. A lot of companies are not going to fully bleach the knots because they don't know your complexion before you order. They're just bleaching them to the most popular demand, which is most likely the darker skinned girl. So if you are my complexion, re-bleach the knots or use a lace tint and take it to blonde or close to blonde. All right, you guys, this wig will be linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you back in my next video. Mwah.